So you join me here, it's a Wednesday evening and we're at the Motorist in Sherburn and Elmet. As you can see behind me, I'm in the Megane today. And the turnout is simply huge. I think there's somewhere in the region of over 300 cars here tonight, and every time one car leaves, another couple come in. It's now, must be 7:30, and if anything, it seems to be getting busier rather than quieter. Even though it's starting to get a little bit darker now, there's no sign of things letting up just yet. So we've got quite an eclectic mix on a Wednesday night. So you've got a lot of modern cars, a lot of modified stuff as well. But we've also got a few classics and some things a little bit different. Like over there, we've actually got a big American Kenworth truck, which we'll have a look round later. I've actually been taking a lot of photographs as well while we've been here, so I'll add those into a bit of a slideshow at the end. But yeah, obviously we've got a lot of Audis, BMWs, that sort of thing, and some things that were once everywhere that just aren't anymore, like this little Citroen Saxo behind me. Obviously people of my generation will remember that Citroen Saxo VTRs and VTSs were once all the rage. Now, as you know, I'm not anti-modern car, but I perhaps don't have quite as much love for them as what I do some of the older stuff. So something that's really caught my eye here this evening, and I have seen it here before, is this Mark IV Megane Renault Sport. And you certainly can't miss it in that colour as well. When it came in, I actually got a few photographs of that one arriving. Next to it, we've also got a Mark III Renault Sport as well. A few other interesting things. We've got quite a few RCZs here tonight. R-Baths, a lot of JDM stuff, but a couple of guys here from the Fiat Coupe community as well. But because it's so busy and everyone arrived at different times, we're not all parked together. So, for example, we've got this yellow 20 valve turbo that's parked up over here, and then down by the entrance we've got a couple of LE models as well. A couple of nice Abarth 595s. And Mark 1 MX5, I do like these Mark 1s with the pop-up lights as well. Seem to be getting, I wouldn't say rare, but I suppose good ones are hard to find, especially if you want one that's original and unmodified. So if the microphone's picking that up, someone's just started up a Ferrari, a modern one, which is actually pretty quiet compared to some of the other vehicles that's been here today. Nice Volvo 850. And got this Dodge pickup that came in, which I'm not sure what's under the bonnet. I'm presuming a V8, but it certainly made a lot of noise, but not as much as this Kenworth. Now, some of you know I drive trucks myself, the cab over type, but just imagine, I'm about 5'9", 5'10", and I'm not even up to the top of the bonnet on this as I stand by this grille. It's absolutely enormous. There's actually a lady that drove this one in here, who I've not spoken to. Well, somebody did say that she was this as personal transportation. But yeah, a far cry from the things that most of us drivers here in the UK have. Usually you're lucky to get a space with a bunk behind you. But yeah, obviously you've got a lot more chassis length to play with here, so quite cool artwork on the back of this one as well. Bad to the bone. Let's see if we're still around. Maybe we'll get some footage of that leaving later on, because it really is quite a sight. So we've got some Golfs, a couple of Celicas, another car that actually caught my eye earlier, the Mark I Focus RS. I do remember these coming out, and again it looks like a nice original one, really nice car. So we've got the RS Focus just leaving, and got a bit of a mix down here. Got quite a few Peugeot RCZs on this row. And another one over the other side that's quite heavily modified. And a Lotus Elise, which, yep, I'm a big fan of the Lotus Elise. Now viewers, something else that caught my ear is this Toyota Starlet. Now again, I remember these being on sale in the 90s. I actually remember my dad going and having a look at one of these. I can't remember if he test drove it, and I seem to think it was in like quite a bright metallic green, which sort of blues and turquoisey colours were quite popular in the 90s. So yeah, really nice to see that here. Something completely different though is this Dodge Viper. Yep, we've got a Toyota Starlet parked up near a Dodge Viper next to an Opel. Yes, viewers, we have got an Opel Monza. Another car that I just cannot remember the last time I saw one. Now again, I don't know if this is the real deal or not, or I think there is a bit of a trend for people actually customising the cars, but we have actually got two VWs here at Harlequins. Again, I couldn't tell you if this is genuine or not. I know very little about VWs, but this one, even the upholstery is done as a multicolour, and the ride height looks quite high on that one as well. Now, as I say, it's not the only one here. That one rides high, but we've got another one here that actually rides quite low. That one, the Mark III Golf Estate. So yeah, as I said, there seems to be a bit of a craze for Harlequins at the moment. I've seen a few VWs of late with this same sort of colour scheme. Again, I do remember the Harlequins being in the showrooms in the 90s. Didn't really get them myself, if I'm being completely honest, but yeah, they seem to have really gained a bit of a cult following these days. Now, something else here that's a bit of a rare sight, and something I remember very well from the 90s. We had the Honda CRX, which seems to have had a bit of a resurgence, but then we had the CRX Del Sol. And again, remember what we were saying about those 90s colours? We'll take a look at that. I actually thought these looked quite cool back in the day. I'm sure they'll divide opinions of probably not the fastest thing to come out of Japan in that era, but yeah, actually by Civic CRX, I've heard them called a Del Sol as well. But yeah, really nice to see that here tonight. obviously when I first came to the Motorist a couple of years ago, there was sort of one building, but as you can see behind me, a lot more work going on here now. I believe there's going to be a two-storey building here with a larger cafe. The cafe's actually moved a few times already, but this is going to be even bigger. We've already got the main building with the showroom and workshops, and there's another building behind me over there now, which is now the cafe. But as I say, this place just keeps growing, and if you look behind me, all the vehicles that's here tonight, and by all accounts the place gets even busier on a weekend. And as I say, we are starting to lose the light a little bit, but yeah, if you're enjoying what you're watching, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, because there's going to be a lot more of this sort of thing to come along. Lots of events. At some point there'll be some more work on the driveway as well, on the cars, and hopefully some car reviews. So stay tuned for more, and I'll see you next time.